political environment. He was hardworking, disciplined, a true Tanzanian patriot who worried about the future of Tanzania's economy. Ali alikuwa chanzo cha hekima na ushauri kwangu wakati nikijaribu kuelewa na kufanya kazi kwenye mazingira ya kisiasa yanayobadilika kwa haraka Tanzania. Alikuwa mchapakazi wenye nidhamu na Mtanzania mzalendo wa kweli ambaye alikuwa na wasiwasi na mustakabali wa uchumi wa nchi yenu ya Tanzania. During the first meeting, our first meeting, he gave me a copy of his book. It contains all his hopes for Tanzania and Tanzanians. Also, it showed that he was a generous and kind-hearted person. Kwenye mkutano yetu ya kwanza, alinipa nakala ya kitabu chake ya maono. Kitabu hicho kilibeba matumaini yake yote kwa Tanzania na kwenu nyinyi wa Tanzania. Kinaonesha jinsi alivyo mkarimu na mtu wenye moyo mwema. He was also something else, something which we Americans really respect. He was a self-made man. He was born poor. His parents were not very well educated, but he applied himself to his studies, overcame adversity, and succeeded. Ali alikuwa kitu kingine, kitu ambacho sisi wa Marekani tunakiheshimu sana. Alikuwa mtu aliyejitengeneza wenyewe. Alizaliwa maskini. Wazazi wake hawakuwa na elimu sana, lakini alijisomesha mwenyewe. Alijifunza kuwaliana na hali ngumu na alifanikiwa. I will miss him very much. Tanzania will miss him. Nitamkumbuka. Tanzania itamkumbuka. Ali, I will miss you. Inalilila. Inalilila ilahi raji'un.
Thank you, Your Excellency Dr. Ini Patterson, U.S. Ambassador to Tanzania. Now, I'll invite His Excellency Frederick Clavier, the French Ambassador to Tanzania, who will be followed by His Excellency Roberto Mengoni of Italy.
Mheshimiwa familia ya Ali wa watoto, Mheshimiwa Rais Benjamin William Mkapa, Mheshimiwa Waziri, Mheshimiwa Balozi, in the name of the French government and the French people, I would like to convey my sadness and my condolences to the family of Ali, but to all the business community in this country, Tanzania, and to all the people of Tanzania. Ali was a man of exception. First, because he was the very few businessmen able to discuss, to exchange expertise, to exchange views, to exchange strategies with head of states, head of governments, including at the French presidency. Then, because he was a man of strategy. When he had a matter in mind, it was not only for himself, for his business, for which he was so successful, but also for his country, Tanzania, because he was a patriot. And not only for Tanzania, because he had a vision of the African continent, how to make bridges successfully between different countries, not only in East Africa, but also in Central Africa and West Africa. And more than that, he had in mind a world strategy to make linkages between Tanzania, Africa, and Europe. And in that sense, in my life, I met very few people able to deploy such a vision, such a strategy. And then, finally, because he was a philanthrope. He was a man of generosity, able to know from where he came to sustain those who were with many capacities to develop their business and to sustain the young generation. And in that sense, not only because he believed in God, and now today is in the paradise with God, but also because his legacy will remain for all of us. It means to give to the young generation the confidence she needs to success and to succeed in business. And in that way, we had two big losses this year, Ali and Reginald Mengi. They were not the same generation, but quasi the same generation. I think it's a signal that this generation of Ali and Reginald Mengi now give the floor, give the legacy to the young generation of the 40, 50 years old to sustain, to upscale business in this country and in Africa. So his legacy will remain not only in our hearts, but in our spirits. Ali, may you now remain in peace, and God be with you, God be with Tanzania. Asante sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency Frederick. Before I call upon His Excellency Roberto Mengoni, I wish to, earlier on I had acknowledged AZAM media, but it has been brought to my notice that ITV and Clouds Media are all broadcasting this program live from here. So we thank you very much. Your Excellency Roberto Mengoni, please come to the stage, and next will be the British High Commissioner, Her Excellency Sarah Cook.
Good morning. This is the moment where we need to put aside protocol and hug the family of Ali Mufuruki, Mama Sada, and their children, Zaira, Laila, Sophia, and Abdel Razak. We are close to you. The most we can do as human beings to share the suffering in this moment. It is a cruel fate that Ali left us so sudden and so young. He had just completed his 61st birthday a few days ago. So he was in his prime age. He was still the person that could live and could live for us many more things for many, many years. His conversations, his wisdom, his humbleness, his gentleness. The moment I met for the first time Ali, I felt deeply connected to him immediately. I found him one of those few rare leaders that can be at the same time a global leader, an African leader, and a Tanzanian leader. A person who could talk to anybody with a mixture of intelligence, wisdom, caring, and human touch. I think that Ali is here with us today. He's here with his ideas, his passion, his legacy. He was an entrepreneur, a business person, who thought that it was not his duty to enrich himself, to produce wealth, to give employment to people, but also to give back to the society in terms of generosity, in terms of money, in terms of time. Sometimes time is the most precious thing for all of us. And having had the pleasure, the honor of having spent some time with Ali, I think that all these moments that we spent together were deeply, deeply rewarding. And this is something that will not go away soon. A man can, or a woman, can show his or her fragility, dying very young. But his ideas and his legacy, her ideas, her legacy, will remain with us. The presence of such distinguished audience today, former President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Benjamin William Mkapa, several leaders from the political field, from the economic field, from the private sector, and from the religious field, testifies that Ali left something more to us, to all of us. His legacy will not perish. His body will be in another place, but his ideas and his soul will live with us. I was deeply touched when Sanjay, my good friend, told me about this sudden death. Something that you don't believe. It's something that you will not accept. But definitely, today, together with your family, together with you, with the leaders and friends, we will share the burden of sufferings, and we will share also the burden of carrying his legacy for the next years, for the benefit of this country, and as I said before, for the benefit of the world. Thank you very much. Poleni sana familia ya Ali Abdul Mufuruki. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency Sarah Cook, karibu.
Mama Sada, Ali's children, Maheshimiwa Rais, ministers, senior officials, friends and family, and of course my colleagues from the diplomatic community, all diplomatic protocols observed. This is an incredibly sad occasion, and I'm here on behalf of the government of the United Kingdom and the British people to convey our deepest condolences on such a sad day. Tanzania has lost a great man and a great leader, and I know there are many people back in the United Kingdom who are also mourning his passing. Ali was a great friend of the UK. He was chair of Trademark East Africa, which was funded by UK aid. He was also chair of Vodacom here in Tanzania, and obviously has close links to Vodafone back home in the UK. He was an exemplary business leader, as we've heard, but he was also a public servant for the people of Tanzania and the people of Africa more generally, and that legacy will continue. We saw that for ourselves back home when he was co-chair of a British parliamentary committee on how we could improve the impact of UK aid to support free trade in Africa. And I know his insights, his wisdom and his guidance to that parliamentary committee were hugely valuable, and that legacy will continue through the work of the British Parliament. So he was a wonderful man. He was a wonderful friend to me as well. I remember many conversations. He used to come to my house and talk to me, give me very strong guidance and advice as to my role here in Tanzania. And he was not afraid to challenge as well, which is what I loved about him. We had robust conversations, and I really appreciated and valued his wonderful expertise and guidance. And just a few months ago, he honoured me by accepting my invitation to meet the British Prime Minister's trade envoy to Tanzania. And we had a wonderful conversation about how to strengthen trade between our two countries and how to really bring the benefits to the people and the businesses of Tanzania. So as I said, as well as being an exemplary business leader, he was a public servant, and we will always remember that in him. And we very much mourn his passing, both here in Tanzania and I know his friends back in the United Kingdom, and may his soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Your Excellency Sarah Cook, British High Commissioner to Tanzania. Your Excellency Benjamin William Mkapa, the family of the late Ali Mufuruki, ministers present, the retired Prime Minister, Honorable Joseph Sindo Warioba, retired Party Secretary General, Honorable Kinana, Excellencies, mourners, ladies and gentlemen, we've just received a guest, Mr. Maz Muela, who went to school together with the late Ali, from 1981 to 1985. He has flown in and joined us here a few minutes ago. Our colleague, John Ulanga, has taken effort to convince Mr. Mueller, who is accompanied by his son, Fabian Mueller, to at least deliver a message of condolence, because Mr. Mueller is kind of totally devastated. But gladly, he has accepted to deliver a condolence message. Mr. Mueller, together with Fabian, please come to the stage.
Dear big German African family, there are no words to express our feelings. It is just to say thank you, Ali, for nearly 40 years true friendship. May this friendship last for the next generation, with my son, with your son, with the children, and with our grandchildren. Thank you, Ali. You have been my very best friend. Bye.
I now call upon Madam Caroline Musei, the General Manager for Woolworths East Africa, to give your condolence message. Karibu.
Your Excellencies, honorable government ministers and officials, CEOs, leaders, SADA, and family, all protocols observed. As Woolworths and as a brand, and staff members of Woolworths who are here, and if you'll allow me, if I can ask them to just stand up, led by Mr. Bushiri Mgimba, the General Manager, Samson Katemi, the Finance Manager, and the management of the business here in Tanzania. Thank you very much. As a brand and staff members of Woolworths Tanzania, we would like to give tribute to our founder, the first franchise owner, CEO, and at this time of his passing, non-executive director of Woolworths South Africa. We are saddened by this sudden demise of a man who was unstoppable, determined, forward-looking, a visionary. Ali gave us hope. Ali saw opportunities. Ali pushed us to be better. Ali was a true leader. Long before formal retailing and departmental stores became a reality in East Africa, Ali Mufuruki had foreseen the possibility of these markets embracing these kinds of businesses. He approached Woolworths South Africa in the mid-90s, and eventually he was given the franchise rights for Uganda and Tanzania. He opened his first store at PPF Towers, which continues to be a very important branch to the business, in 1999, and in the year 2000 opened another branch in Uganda. It took him 5 years before embarking on an expansion plan, and in those years he endeavored to learn the art and science of fashion retailing, which is both an art and a science. Retail is not for the faint-hearted. One has to be hawk-eyed about the intricacies of the detail in the product, from the smallest size to the big items. Yet Ali, though an engineer in training, came out as an expert of retail. After 5 years, he opened his second store at Shoppers Plaza and expanded to Arusha and opened more stores in Kampala. At the time of his death, Woolworths in Tanzania has 5 stores and 3 stores in Uganda and employs over 100 employees and supports over 20 third-party suppliers. Ali has made a difference in our lives. He has made a difference in the retail industry in East Africa. He is definitely a visionary leader, a risk taker, a man who never gave up. He created employment for us, for the people who are currently working in Woolworths, for the people who left, retired, or left to look for greener pastures, and will definitely continue to create employment for many other people because we are under an expansion plan. Woolworths is currently a joint venture organization, and Ali, in his time of death, was a director. On behalf of the Woolworths directors in South Africa, Mr. Justin Crowhurst, Mr. Berger van der Mauer, my executive director, Yobe Mvula, and the CEO herself, Zaida Rylands, I say to you, Ali, asante sana. Fare thee well, mkurugenzi wetu. Thank you.
Asante, Laila. Nirudie tena, baada ya ratiba ya hapa, mwili utapelekwa kuswaliwa msikiti wa Maimur, na baada ya hapo maziko yatafanyika kwenye makaburi ya Kisutu. Sasa nimkaribishe Dr. Laila Masharia, the chairperson of African Leadership Initiative East Africa. Karibu kwa salamu za rambirambi.
Sada, Laila, Zara, Sophia, and Tegenye, former President Mkapa, distinguished representatives from the government, the business community, the clergy, and all family and friends. We bring you greetings from the Africa Leadership Initiative. Grateful to have an opportunity to celebrate the life and the legacy of our role model, our mentor, our champion, and our encourager, Ali Mufuruki. Alongside others, Ali formed the Africa Leadership Initiative in 2002, and now we are over 500 fellows across the continent, about 70 of them from East Africa, and I will ask them soon to come up and greet you. Our initiative, designed and envisioned by Ali, was to challenge leaders who had already had some success in education, in the public sector, in the private sector, to think about their lives and move up into a level where they moved from success to significance. He saw in us a group of African leaders grounded in conscience, in courage, and in commitment. He was vulnerable with us about his struggles as a leader and open even when he started having health challenges. He always picked up the phone when you called. About 2 years ago, he started urging us to put in place structures and strategies to carry on this work without him. And some of you will remember the ambush when he made the new group of directors. A year ago, we also gathered together in November to celebrate as an initiative in Zanzibar. And by coincidence, it was his 60th birthday, and we had a wonderful time as we celebrated him. I would like to ask the fellows to please come and stand with me. Come. So you can see Ali's work wherever you are. Please come and join us. We have traveled this morning from Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania. And in front of you, you'll see many leaders from the region, leading the top companies, standing up in government, and also in the non-profit sector. He loved each one of us personally, and he challenged us forcefully. We are honored that he left us such a firm foundation and such an ambitious vision, and we look forward to making him proud. Thank you, and our condolences. Thank you, Ali. We miss you.
Thank you, Laila, Dr. Laila, for actually revealing to us that some of these good brains that we see around with us, the late Ali has got his hand of shaping them. Thank you, Ali. Now, it's time to invite Mr. Patrick Obath, Vice Chairman of the Board, Trademark East Africa.
Thank you very much. Sada and family, and all other protocols having been observed, I stand here on behalf of Trademark East Africa to celebrate the life of Ali. And in a way, his being the chairman of Trademark East Africa embodied some of his beliefs about this continent. He came into the board and reshaped Trademark East Africa completely in terms of setting up the governance to deliver on a promise that is an East African community. And Ali, as an individual, had a lot of things to do with industrialization, technology, research, and innovation in everything that he did. And in Trademark East Africa, the way he shaped it and brought it up, it became the opportunity to deliver and try and make what he believed Africa could be, in terms of improving trade corridors, in terms of improving governance systems within the 5 East African countries, and a lot of the effort that has gone into enabling the East African countries to work together. That was Ali. His vision was a vision of one Africa, and it was infectious about how he talked about Africa, not just East Africa, but the whole continent. And within that context, one of the biggest things he talked about was the value of leadership. And that's what you've seen with all of us who are from the Africa Leadership Initiative, where all of us have been through. And he also sought to change and influence leadership in East Africa to try and truly create what we all yearn for, which is the East African community. And he chose to do it not by being political, but by being somebody who would make change through people, and also make change through the organizations that he actually involved himself in. And if you read through the list, most of those organizations were organizations that were there to try and break down barriers and bring Africa together. Starting with the organizations that were within Tanzania, the ones that he was sitting on boards within East Africa, and also his involvement in various organizations at the African level, at the AU. He left our board at Trademark East Africa in 2018, having served for 3 years, and we hoped he would continue for another 3 years, but he said, no, I've finished my job here, let me go and do something different. And he went on to basically take on a bigger role with the Afri-Champions and working with the African Union to try and forge together a much bigger cooperation from what he had actually been able to prepare within Trademark East Africa. So all present, ladies and gentlemen, from Trademark East Africa, we join you, Sada, and your children in celebrating the life of a truly great African. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Obath. I now call upon Mr. Godfrey Simbeye from Tanzania Private Sector Foundation. Then TCCIA, the representative of the president, should get ready.
Mama Sada, Mufuruki na watoto wako na familia yako yote, naomba kukuambia kwamba sekta binafsi yote ya Tanzania kupitia taasisi mwamvuli ya sekta binafsi Tanzania, yani taasisi ya sekta binafsi Tanzania, tunakupa pole sana. Wewe umempoteza mumeo, watoto wako wamempoteza baba, sisi pia tumempoteza kiongozi ndani ya sekta binafsi. Mimi naomba niseme tu kitu kimoja. Yamesema mengi mazuri na naomba na mimi nisirudie. Ali hajamaliza kitu ambacho alitaka kukifanya kuhusu sekta binafsi hapa Tanzania. Naomba nikueleze tu kwamba Sada kwamba tulikuwa tunaongea mengi na alidhani kwamba kazi ya kuendeleza sekta binafsi Tanzania ilikuwa bado haijakamilika. Na hata alipoandika kitabu chake cha safari ya uwekezaji kwenye viwanda, alikuwa nadhani bado alikuwa na mchango mwingine wa kufanya. Amefanya mengi kama watu walivyosema hapa leo, na mimi nisingependa kuyarudia, lakini kuna moja ambalo naomba tu niliseme, ambalo pengine haliwezi kusemwa na mtu mwingine yoyote. Ali, kitu kimoja, amekuwa kwenye bodi nyingi sana kama ulivyoona kwenye kitabu kile, lakini Ali kuna kitu kimoja alikuwa hajakifanya na tulikuwa tunategemea labda kingeweza kutokea. Alikuwa hajawahi kuwa mwenyekiti wa taasisi ya sekta binafsi Tanzania. Nasema hivyo kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu mwaka 2013 baada ya yeye kuwa kwenye kamati iliyoundwa na serikali ya kuhakikisha kwamba TPSF inakuwa ni taasisi ambayo inaleta sauti moja, sauti yenye nguvu ya sekta binafsi Tanzania, yeye alisema kwamba tunahitaji TPSF iwe na uongozi bora na uongozi ambao unaweza ukatoa mchango mkubwa. Kwa hiyo mimi nikamuuliza wewe, kama kweli ni hivyo Ali, je, unategemea kuwa kiongozi wa sekta binafsi siku moja? Akaniambia ndio, siku moja nitakuwa kiongozi, lakini sasa hivi ngoja tumpishe mzee Mengi awe kiongozi wetu. Mwaka 2018 ilipotokea nafasi ya kuwa pia tunatafuta viongozi wa TPSF, tulimwendea tena tukamwambia tunaomba sasa ufikirie ile wazo lako la kuwa kiongozi ndani ya sekta binafsi ili sasa liwe kweli. Kwa masikitiko makubwa sana, naomba tu niwaambie wana sekta binafsi wenzangu, alisema sasa hivi si wakati wenyewe. Zilikuwa siku hiyo akanambia kwamba no, sasa hivi no, sitachukua hiyo nafasi tena ya kuwa mwenyekiti wa TPSF kwa sababu hata siona untable, ninaondoka kwa sababu nataka kwenda kufanya mambo mengine. Nikamwambia lakini uliniahidi kwamba swala la kuendeleza sekta binafsi bado wewe liko kwenye damu yako, na mimi nasema nafasi ukiwa mwenyekiti wa TPSF unaweza ukalifanya vizuri zaidi. Akasema Simbea, hapana, sitakudanganya, not this time, naomba unisamehe sana, endelea tu na mambo mengine, mimi nitakupa ushirikiano wangu wote siku zote. Mimi naomba niseme Sada, narudia sana, mmeo hajamaliza kazi ya kuendeleza sekta binafsi bado hata viongozi wetu walioko ndani. Na mimi nashukuru sana Mheshimiwa Benjamin Mkapa, rais wetu mstaafu, kitabu maneno ulimwambia Ali kwenye kitabu chako kwa kweli alitugusa sisi wengi sana, lakini mimi naomba niseme tuna safari ndefu ya kuendeleza sekta binafsi hapa Tanzania, na mimi nadhani kwamba kitu ambacho tunaweza tukafanya ni kuendeleza yale aliyoyaanza Ali aliamini sana katika utawala bora, aliamini sana katika utawala wa uadilifu, na ndio maana mimi niseme tu kwamba sasa hivi ukianzisha kampuni yote hapa Tanzania lazima usaini kiapo cha uadilifu, kinaitwa kwa Kiingereza integrity pledge. Hiyo ililetwa na Ali Mufuruki, kazi yake hiyo alileta kabisa, alikuwa anaamini hivyo. Niseme tu kwamba sina mengi ya kuongea. Mungu amlaze mahali pema peponi. Tutaendelea kumkumbuka, alikuwa kiongozi wetu, tutamiss kwa muda mrefu, lakini tusirudi nyuma, tuendelee kuendeleza yale aliyotaka kuyafanya. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Mr. Simbe, for the message delivered emotionally. A little bit of change. I'd earlier skipped TNBC and lined up TCIA. Before I call TNBC, because by order it would have been TNBC TPSF. My apologies. We've received a note that there is a message from the government of Rwanda that will be delivered by Rosette Rugamba. Please, Rosette, come to the podium.
Good afternoon. I had no intention of speaking.